In this video, let's understand the various components of OmniStudio. Every web application consists of three major parts. The first one is digital or user experience. This is the user interface through which user interacts with the application. In most of the cases, these are built using HTML and CSS technology. Second part of the application is called service layer, which is also called as the backend of the application. This layer takes care of all the logic with respect to different action that user takes, and this layer also act as an intermediator between the UI and the database where the data is stored. The third layer is the database where all the application data is stored, which is shown on the UI. This structure is also called as the MVP or Model View Controller. View is nothing but the UI. Controller is nothing but the backend logic or the service management layer. And model is nothing but the database. So these three components put together are called as a MVP. Now coming to OmniStudio, the UI or digital experience is built using two components which are part of OmniStudio tools. These are FlexCard and OmniScripts. So using this, we build the user interface which users can interact with. To build the service layer in OmniStudio, we use integration procedures. This is where we write the server-side logic, and the database operations are performed using the data mappers, which can access Salesforce data and can manipulate it. So these components are used in conjunction to make any application in OmniStudio. So as shown in the diagram, FlexCard and OmniScripts are part of the digital experience. Integration procedures and data mappers are part of the service management, as these components provide data to digital experience and handle all the backend logic. The developer experience layer is used to deploy these components from one org to another org. So for migration, we use IDX Workbench and IDX Build tool. OmniStudio also provides a very simple way of migrating components from one org to another using the import and export feature on each of these components. Now, based on the use case, we will have to decide if the particular UI should be built using FlexCard or we should use OmniScript or maybe a combination of both. Let's see the definition of these tools. So the first one is FlexCard. FlexCard allows user to design and display data in an easy to read format, pulling information from various sources. In our demo, we were using FlexCard on related case section to show all the cases in tabular format, and then we have a button which allows creating a case. So if I show you the component again, then here on the related case section, we have a table and a button. This table and the button are created using a flex card, and then it is embedded inside a OmniScript. So this is a screen of OmniScript, and inside that we have a flex card displaying all the cases in tabular format, and we also have a button to create another case. So we can say that flex cards can be used to create digital information cards showing important details at a glance. So here in our case, we were showing all the cases related to the patient at a glance, and we were also giving the ability to users to create more cases. The flex cards are clickable for more information. For example, you can just give a brief about a patient, and then you can have a clickable button, and then you can have a flyout to show more information about that patient. We will be understanding what is this flyout and how to build one. The flex cards also contains buttons for common task. Again, as in our example, we had a button to create a new case. So flex cards are useful for quick customer interactions. The next component that we have is OmniScript. OmniScript provides guided step-by-step process for users, simplifying complex tasks and ensuring data accuracy. In our demo, there were multiple steps, including capturing patient's name, allowing user to update patient details, and then displaying the related cases. So all these steps were created using OmniScript. On the last step, while displaying the related cases, we embedded an flex card on OmniScripts, so which means that we can use both the tools together to build the UI. So again, if I show the component again, so this is one of the step of the OmniScript, and if I go back, so this is where it started. This is the entire OmniScript, and this is one of the screen. Then this is the screen where we are taking the patient information. This is built using OmniScript. So this look ahead component is given by OmniScript. Similarly, this information is shown on a OmniScript screen. And then again, this is a OmniScript screen where we have embedded a FlexCard. So here we can see that both the UI components can be combined together to build the UI. So we can say that OmniScript is used to build step-by-step digital guides for completing tasks. They can work on multiple devices. Now coming to data mappers, it is a tool for extracting, transforming and loading the data to the database, making it easy to move and manage data within Salesforce. So we will be using data mappers to retrieve Salesforce data, insert or update records into Salesforce database, and also to transform one form of data to other form. So those who know how SOQL query and DML operation helps us working with Salesforce data in Apex class can relate SOQL query and DML operation with the data mappers. Similarly, those who have worked on flows, we know that in flow we have various actions such as get records, create record, update records. So data mapper is very similar to these actions which are available on the flows. These data mappers are of four types and we will be going through each type with example in our upcoming videos. They basically allows us to read, transform and write data in Salesforce without needing to write any code or writing any SQL queries. The last component we have is integration procedures. So integration procedures act as a service layer to perform all the backend operation. They helps in connecting with external services, sending email, etc. So integration procedures, also called as IP, is used to perform various backend activities like receiving the user input from OmniScript or FlexCard and then using that to retrieve data from database using data mappers or to manipulate the data. They can also use to retrieve the data from external services, send email to user, etc. So in simple terms, all the backend activities can be done by integration procedures. So this is the brief about the building blocks of OmniStudio.